to Copperhead Kustoms, and today we are back on our Hot Wheels Legends Tour $2,000 budget build, 1948 Bedford. This one you're gonna want to see. So yes, welcome back to another episode of Copperhead Kustoms, and today we're going to continue on with our 1948 Bedford. And as I stated, if you're new, this one we are planning on entering in next year's Hot Wheels Legends Tour if they have the Australian leg, which don't think they did this year, but we'll see. Now this car we are trying to achieve for $2,000, a measly budget here in Australia. Convert that for you Americans and it is probably a $1,200 straight conversion, but with the prices you actually get stuff for, it would only be like $500 or $600. So it is quite unheard of to build something at this standard for that sort of money. Now I do apologise, we do have some rain today, so if there's a bit of background noise, that's what it is. So I apologise for that, but I can't really control Mother Nature. Now, the car is very close to being finished. Well, it could be. It basically only really needs steering and pedals, wiring, plumbing, and I think a tail shaft and exhaust done, and it could be driving down, and maybe some windows, and we could be driving it down the road. But I have a lot more that I want to do to it to take it up to this kind of level. I actually want this to be a real standout where it has so much happening on it, but not poxy, stupid, dull heads or whatever. I actually want a lot of stuff done of a pretty high standard, just showing lots of our little skills. So, there's a few things up the front more we're going to do. There's something like, I've got a few ideas about doing a pretty trick bonnet, and there's a lots of other little ideas and things we're going to make that will do that. Now what we're going to do today though is, on today's episode, if you can see the back and the side here, I've never been really happy with the finish of this. How we've taken the running boards, you probably can't quite see, but you'll see in a second. The running boards come up and flow into the sides of our wooden tray, and I think it looks really nice. But then the back just went straight across. So I've always had it in my head from the day we did it that it should have a piece going in there. So I think we're going to look at doing that. So we're going to have to pull a couple of bits of our timbers off, weld a couple of brackets in, and we will make another piece of timber for this kind of area. Also at the back here, our timber at the bottom there, you can see is slightly different size to this. Now this is an original piece of timber that we Frenched in our taillights into, and then the timber underneath is the same as the rest of the tray. Slightly different size. It was okay, but I wasn't a real fan. Now my plan is that once this is on, I'd actually like this to go down a bit lower to the ground. One, it will make it look a bit, it should just enclose a little bit back there, give it a bit better look I think. Two was with the number plate, the whole number plate. I didn't want the number plate half hanging off, I wanted it all mounted to the wood, so I wanted to make this down another 4 or 5 inches. So we'll put 1 or 2 other pieces of wood on. Now the wood I've got is the same thickness as our original piece, and it is a pretty old piece of wood that I have, so we'll have to cut and grind and do, you'll see what we do to our wood, but we will have to put some brackets in for that. Now then, we've also got some pretty trick things. I won't tell you about them, you're going to have to wait till later to see what they are. But we're going to basically make a rear bumper on the back of this as well, and this, I can guarantee you, no one has ever done what I'm about to do here. So we're going to say it's a weld first. Someone will come chime in, I'm sure, and say, I seen it done here. Well, I've never seen this one done, and I'm pretty sure, I don't reckon anyone's done what I'm going to do on this one, because it is a little bit out there, like most of the rubbish that I do. So anyway, I've got this really cool idea about making this rear bumper that we're going to do as well. I hope that sounds interesting, and I'm telling you, you're going to want to see the end result, because I think it will change the look of it. We also want to probably look at maybe trimming a bit of the guard off at the bottom. Now this is a bit of a risky move, because if I take too much off and I ruin the look, but I think if I take it the right amount off, it will enhance the look. Scary one, yeah, so I'm thinking of probably cutting it around the bottom of the leaf spring there. The reason being is you can't actually see our tyres. Now we have monster tyres on the back of this thing. They are the old school Torque Twister 2 Positractions. That's right, they're pretty rare, they're pretty old, you can't get them anymore, and not many people run them because they are so old. But I've been lubing these things up for years. There's no cracking or nothing in them. Do I want to go doing 160 mile an hour in them? Don't really know about that, but for what this car will be used for, I think they will be fine. So they are a 14-inch stock rim that's been widened, and we've got those big monster tyres. So I'd like to show off a bit of that tyre if we can. So we're going to look at trimming the back of those guards, and while we're at it, we may trim the fronts down because they scrape, so they have to come up to the running board area. So, a heap of dribble there to get us started. I've got to bloody tell you what we're going to do. So anyway, let's tear some stuff down, find some metal, crank up the welder. I've finally changed my welding lens butt so I can see what I'm doing, and let's start trying to make this thing look better. Okay, so we've just got the two timbers off. Okay, now what I was saying is there's our number plate light, and it actually looked funny when that was on the other piece, okay? But when that's sitting on there, like so, it looks to me kind of silly. So I would like it to sit to say that was the bottom. I think that would look nicer, which means we really need another piece on, yes? So we come back over to here, all right? So it's not quite working as I wanted it to, but adapt and rectify. Is that it? Anyway, this piece here is only 1 inch or 25 millimeters. Okay, and we thought our other stuff was the same. Our other stuff's 35 to 40 mil, so that's probably like 1.5 inches if we look at our timber. Now we've got a ton of this, and we've got this. Oh, we've got it for our Austin. That's right. But anyway, this is a little bit thicker. Beautiful hardwood. It was from a fence, so it's actually quite old wood. It's dense, it's solid. Should be pretty good. Won't be white, of course, when we do what we do to our wood. So that's going to look silly sticking out. So what we're going to have to do is, this is what we're going to have to do, is this piece here is 140 millimeters. So that is about 5.5 inches, I think. But if we come from the top here, as you can see, it goes to 140, it goes just to there, okay? So what we'll do is we'll have to notch this little corner out of one of those existing pieces of, one of those new bits of wood. We'll notch the corner out, and we'll actually put the piece of timber slightly in. So instead of welding our brackets to the flush here, we'll weld them whatever it works out to be, about 1/2 inch in. We'll put them 1/2 inch in our little legs, and our other timber will go slightly in so that our front face is flat and equal. So when we come back over to this piece, if we put our light, if we put our light on here, it changes, but I didn't like the look of it. I like the light better there, I think, but we may manipulate that around. But any rate, that out there measures, I think, 125 mil, and our plate is basically 130. So it would mean our plate would have to kind of sit somewhat like that. Now I don't know if I like that. That's just to add one timber, okay? So if we add one timber, hope you're following me here. We've got 125 and 140, so that's 265, which is about there. So it would come down to about there approximately. Okay, now if we add two timbers, it means that our number plate light would basically go onto our new timber. This would start down there, and we would have room, okay? And we'd have two timbers, so that would be 250 mil more than what we have there. So that ends up being 390. I hope you're following all this, which takes us down to there. Okay, now so I think that in the corner may look weird looking from this angle, seeing that our other piece is only going in on the, our piece in here is just going to go in there. Okay, so that may look strange, I'm not quite sure, but what I think we would have to do is we would have to come in and then maybe start 45ing in. So I'm not sure. What we'll do is we'll cut two pieces for now at our length that we want. We'll cut two of them at the length. We'll notch one to get it in behind there. We'll have a look whether we want one or two. work out what we're going to use for our droppers, and we'll grind and weld them on, and then we can work out how long we need them, whether we just need them yay long for one piece or whether we need down to here for two. So I think that's our first point of call. Now our next problem is we want to try to find another piece of this thickness, I think, to go in here. I don't think I want to do them out of the thin one, so we've got to try to dig up another bit of this. Hopefully we've got a piece kicking around, an off cut. So that's where we're at. So I'll get a bit more stuff ready, and then we'll come back and we'll do some test fitting and see what we think. Then you would have seen me get the depaint those two pieces, cut them and depaint them. Now I bought this from the shop in China and it was working really good, but I don't know if it's just clogged up or if it's actually melted, so I'll see if I can give it a clean up. But it was really ripping it. Really well. Now there's three of them. They won't dear. There's three different ones. There's like a wood carving tools they're called, but I might complain about that one. There's three different shapes, see? And like I said, yeah, at the start they were working really well. They just seemed to, I wasn't pushing on them or anything, but it just seemed to burn out real quick. So on the second one there, or then once I'd done that, the first one, I then ran over it with the flap disc. And as you can see, like we chewed the flap disc. Now we can probably get a different grit flap disc, a real aggressive one for this, because we got a lot of wood. There's a lot of wood to go on this Austin tray that we're going to have to strip down. So I might actually take a little cart into the paint shop and speak to him about that, whether there's a paint stripper or something we could put on it to rip it, because we're going to be there for a week. Strip and paint, I'd probably want to wear a mask. But anyway, the first one we hit with that, then we hit it with the flap disc, get all the scratches out of it and just give it a little round the corners and stuff. Now on the second one we just used the flap disc solely, and you know, it does it. But this wood I got really cheap. I got $50 for all of it. There is 27 lengths of approximately 6 meters, I think it is, so of hardwood. Like that is ridiculous. There's like over, yeah, it's over $1,000 second hand of hardwood there we got for $50 from just around the corner. It was awesome. The only issue with it is on one edge, this is the edge, so it was a fence and this is the top edge, and it's like a little bit, I don't know if you'd say rotty, but a little bit like, it's a little bit soft. So that's on this top edge, as you can see, you know. So we actually ground that in a little bit, but that's good because we like the wood looking rustic, so it just shapes it a bit for us. So yeah, I got no qualms with that at all. And that was actually stated in the ad. I knew all that, and I didn't care because of what I do to the wood anyway. So yeah, pretty happy with the wood. So now what we'll do, and you can see, like, this is some serious wood, man. What we'll do now is we will bring that wood in. We'll have to get a mark of where we got to notch one of them, and we'll just maybe sit it on on something, a couple of milk crates, or we'll do something to try to get that wood to give us the look. We just need to get the look of it to see if we're happy with it being square cutted, you know, or if we actually want to shape them in, which means we may have to cut and grind a whole heap more yet, but yeah, that won't be too bad. But so we want to bring it in and see what we think about having 2 deep and just get the gist of it. All right, so I'll bring us back in a second. We've clamped it on, it's hard, but I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced I like it. So this is similar type hardwood as in the grain. As you can see on here, our hardwood's like different. It's not as old a wood, if that makes sense. This has come off of a lot older tree. Same with this, as compared to this is off a lot younger tree. So our wood's more matching in that aspect. All right. I'm just not sure if I like it that low. Okay. Now the weird bit's going to be. I know it's hard with our other piece the way we've clamped it, but our weird bit is going to be here. So here we're going to have a piece of wood that's going to come about 1 inch off of this leaf and go up on an angle, a piece in like that, right? And then we're going to have this that goes down low. So to me that may look a bit funky. Now there is another option as well, is if we have another little brace welded on here that comes down, that these bolt onto, and then it's like a little brace this way, and we could put another little triangle piece there. So that is an option. I'm not convinced, guys. I'm not convinced. Which would then have it like this is sticking out a bit like the chassis does there, as you can see by us doing this piece here. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not convinced I like it that way. I was not convinced with this piece. And then if we just run 1 of these, not 2, so if we run 2, we can actually put the number plate like sort of centered like that or something, or even, you know, have it like that. I think that looks okay, right? Now if we get rid of the bottom one and just run this one, the number plate would be, I actually want a bit of wood underneath the number plate is what I'd like. That's what I'm getting at. Is in down here, I'd like a little bit of wood under the number plate, which means the number plate would be like that, something like that. And then we'd have to put our light up in here where my fingers are, yeah? So we'd put our light. So if I'm trying to zoom this back out a bit. So yeah, it would be something like that. May look okay. We do have another option. I found another piece which is actually the correct thickness. And it is a bit wider than what our original one was, but it's not quite the exact right length. Okay, as you can see, it's a little bit shorter, but it is, let's put that edge on there. It's a bit hard to do one-handed. As you can see, it's 2.5 to 3 inches longer. It's actually even longer than those ones. Lots to think about, because when we got our piece, if we just do this top triangle piece, you know, if you look it in, you know, it's still even, no matter which piece it actually, but you know, that is sort of level there, yeah? You know what I'm saying? So I don't quite know what to do, guys. I'm in a bit of a dilemma. I think I need to put our braces on, our metal braces on. I think I'll make them longer than we need, and I think I'll get our braces for this piece. We'll get this piece cut so we can actually see the side view better. We'll get those other bits on so we can look at it without all the clamps, and we'll screw it all back together, and we'll look at it with maybe all 3 pieces. And we might even grab this piece and quickly cut it on the angle. We won't dress it, we'll just use it. Now if we don't use these on this, it's not a complete waste of time, because they'll basically be able to be used on the Austin for the back area on the Austin. I think let's get some flat bar. I think we'll just do some flat bar, and let's get the welder in here and let's pull this back apart, and let's quickly weld a couple of little on. And we also have to notch, we'll have to quickly notch this piece. Plan? Plan. Okay, so I've put that piece on. Now I know it's very hard to, but I don't like it at all. At all. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that it's a bit smaller, even though we're going to shape it. I don't like it. It does nothing at all for me. And it's the point where we'll put the original back one. And then I remembered something else. Remember what I said earlier? I've got something really trick to do in the way of a bumper, which I totally forgot about, didn't I? So, we're going back to our original plan, which was these bits. So, we're a bit all over the joint just there because they didn't look good. But when the other bit goes on, I think it may work. Any rate, oh, he's lost his marbles again today. So, let's get rid of that rubbish again. Let's take the board off now, and let's get some braces on for this. Now, this time, let's pull it all apart and weld some bloody braces on. Okay, so you would have just seen we welded the 3 flats on the back. Now, I don't know if they're going to stay like that or not. They'll probably stay on regardless. But I think we may be tweaking everything. So, I didn't want to show you this other part, the bumper bar part, yet. But I have to because I have to start. I tried to quickly do a bit of work on it off camera so that we could get the gist of what was happening. But, yes, we're going to have to do them together, okay? Me, you, and both of them parts all have to be done together, all right? So, this is what we got. This is a kick panel off of a Fireplace. So, this is the straight piece. And then we have a curvy bit here and here. Now, we got these, I don't know, I was looking at the Oakland and all sorts of stuff. But anyway, I've just thought we'll put them on here. So, this would go under there like that. Yeah, like that. And get bolted in there. Now, what I've just gone and done is I've just gone and drilled a hole through here. This obviously isn't as wide as our woods. So, you've just seen my special little bumper that I didn't want to show you yet. But anyway, I think it will work. And we've got to drill straight through these as well like we have on this one. And I tell you, that was a bear. Basically, it's just constant drill a bit, go sharpen the drill bit. Drill a bit, go sharpen the drill bit. It is obviously a cast, and it is pretty damn solid. It's very thick. It doesn't actually come off in chunks. It just basically comes off like a grinding dust type thing. So any rate. With all that said, I've had enough today. I don't even know what day it is. Is it Friday or Thursday? I think it's Friday. Anyway, I've had a gutful for today, and I'm going to go inside. Me and little mate's over here. He's not happy. He wants to go inside too. See, there he is. He had a haircut the other day. Yes, didn't you? Yes. So anyway, we're going to go inside and think about it. Think about what we're doing here and if we're happy with the way that we're producing. Now, I've got other surprises, so I've got another surprise too that we're going to do on this. So don't think that you've seen it all yet, because you haven't, because there's something else I'm doing tricky in this area. So drop your comments if you can pick what you think I'm going to do. I bet you none of you guess it anyway. So anyway, we've got something else trick we're going to do in this as well to make it look really, really cool. And it's another one of these, like I've said, little finessey things that people won't really notice, and then they'll see it and go, oh man, that's wicked. So anyway, as you can see, we're inside the shed, so we've got decent lighting, and it's got a jumper on because we had 38 degrees last week, and now we're freezing cold and raining. So yes, welcome to Queensland in Australia. All right. Exactly. So we have had quite a productive afternoon. You've seen last night, we had got all the guards off. We had to take that running board off to get the guard out. Got the guard out and started to weld our brackets on the back here for our wood. Now, we tried a few different things and we didn't really like what we were seeing. I actually sat the two woods on and didn't really like them, and so on and so forth. But this is where we're at now. So today what we did was we continued with our sides first. So we welded our flat bars on here and here, and then we got our wood and traced what we thought would be good. Now you got to remember that this here pivots and the suspension moves up and down. So we've got to keep a decent distance there. It's actually probably nearly a touch tight there, but that there pivots, boop, 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 and that goes up and down. So we've got to keep a gap is what I'm getting at, off of this and off of this. So that's all pretty good. So we've got that piece. Now I couldn't remember what I did with this. I know that I burnt it and I couldn't remember what I used. And I actually grabbed walnut stain, and then I'm like, no, that's not what I did. So it was actually a walnut, Danish oil with walnut in it is what I put on first. So we put burn the grain, then we put an oil, a Danish oil that's walnut, dark walnut. So that's all it's had at this stage. And then tomorrow we have to come in and we use a clear satin varnish on it. So we have to do these pieces, and we'll probably give that another coat as well. And the end result is, after many coats, it has this beautiful clear satin look. So anyway, we've done both of the sides there. So they're basically, other than the varnish, are ready for the sides to go back on, the mud guards and the running boards to go back on. But what we're going to do before we do that is we're going to trim our guards, front and back. So at the front, we're going to trim them underneath that angle, or RHS, whatever it is, RHS, and that is what the running boards sit on top of that. So we're going to trim them underneath there. We don't need any of that. And at the back here, we've got a mark, which is basically going to be the leaf spring. So I'll have a look at where I want to trim that. That'll probably maybe the bottom of the leaf spring is what I'm thinking. So when we look from the back here, basically we'll have it cut there, and then we'll just be able to see the bottom. Should be able to just see the bottom of that big fat tyre. That's all we need. We just need to see a little bit of it, because at the moment, as it was, you couldn't see it, and you just had these big guards, but you couldn't see that big, beefy freaking tyre it is. Man, it's a big tyre. It is a 305, 295 or a 305 it is. The torque twister. So anyway, we've come to the back and put our original board back on, and then we've notched out this one. Had to get cut and notched, as remembering our flat bars are 1/2 inch in, and we had a notch around the back of the chassis there. So we did that, got that one screwed on just with two. So don't worry, anybody that thinks that that's the finished product, that's just because it's easy to zoosh one of them in, and then we'll get some bolts the same diameter later, and we'll just put the bolts in and do the beautiful nuts, and it will all be nice. We've got to pick what we want, whether we want to keep running with the stainless dome heads or do a black countersunk style. So we'll think about that later on. But yeah, all of these techs, they will get swapped. Anyway, dribble. So then we did some different mock-ups of the Fireplace bumper, of where to put it if we wanted it, and I think it was best to have the bottom wood on and then mount it like that, half on the bottom wood, half off. I think that gave it a pretty good look. So we've come in on the sides here and we've actually notched the sides. We've got to do a little trim on this one. So it's not in the exact right position at the moment, it's just in a temporary position. But yeah, this side needs a bit more of a knock, and the whole thing will lift up a little bit. So that little gap there, you probably won't see. So anyway, and then that runs around. Now the reason we had to do that is, if we come to the side here, if it was any higher when it was up without the wood, this was fouling. This here was fouling on the leaf spring, whereas as it is now, it will not foul on the leaf spring at all. And I think that is a winner, and then we get the wood in behind it. So that's all good. Now, what I'm going to do is I've just made these angles. I didn't have any angles, so I've actually cut a bit of RHS up. So we're going to weld them onto the bottoms of our flat bars that we've got. We're going to weld that onto the bottom. We're going to drill a hole in the center here, which is going to be a screw going up into the wood. Okay, we'll also, when we do this piece of wood, screw it on, we'll actually screw one into this and one into the other flat, and this will get welded to the flat as well. So that will be up in under there. And then what we're going to do is weld. We're going to see if we can weld this edge onto this face, because when it's in its right spot, you'll see tomorrow, but it is a bit closer. So we're going to see if we can weld that on there, and then that will also be screwed up into that. And then what we're going to do is we're also going to continue with our drilling these two out, and we'll get some longer bolts, and we'll have 3 bolts going through there. Then we'll have the angles coming underneath that will all be screwed and welded and everything. And we'll try to get a bit of a weld onto that as well. And that should be ample, I think, for it. And then when we come around to the side, this is where it's really cool, hey, I reckon. This will also, I think we'll paint this black and we'll polish up our little knobs. Sorry, you weren't seeing. But this all black, okay, painted black, like our chassis. And then it just fills in, this void. So, I don't know if you're following what I'm saying, but it just fills that void with the black metal. And to me, it looks really cool. So we'll just come around here and hopefully you can see what I'm talking about. So if that there, that's black, then that black, you see we've got our black there, whoosh, and then we'll have our black here, whoosh, and then that will run into that. And I think that then ties that in. It doesn't actually look all, you know, we've got our little gap here because this is pivoting, remember? So, but I think the end result is that then kind of flows pretty good. I reckon that looks pretty cool, but hey, who has a Fireplace bumper bar? Any rate, that's cool, eh? I reckon that's cool. Any rate, I won't show you the real lot of it at the moment, but as you've seen, we got the angles that we cut yesterday. Hopefully I'll explain it all, but yeah, we got the little angles welded on, which stick out there, and they're actually now welded to the Fireplace bumper as well at the bottom. We've got all our holes drilled, our 3 holes drilled into our uprights, shall we say, of the kick panel Fireplace bumper. We polished up our brass knobs. We've painted it all. We actually got this timber and we actually ground in this shape into the timber to push it in a bit harder so that it's a bit tighter in. Ground all our corners up so that it notches in around it. It's pretty cool, hey, how we've done it. Then, oh, you can see it, yes, we've engraved our snake into that, and what we've done is we've made it it's coming out from this, and we've done the same over there. We've got another one just there, and it's coming out from there, so it's like nearly like that's part of the snake. How cool have we done that? So anyway, we've got this bolted on to our verticals, which, like I've said, have the angle on them, and the only thing we need to do basically here is we can, if we want, we don't really even have to, but we may drill a little hole up vertically, and we've got holes in those angles where we can throw a bolt or a tack or whatever coach up in through the guts. Now these 2 outside ones just go straight through the wood. The center one goes through the wood and picks up the center vertical bracket as well, so it's all pretty good. Now there's a little bit of movement in there, but that's actually like, it's pretty sturdy. It's not going to do anything. Now this is a decorative bumper, okay, so I don't want to have all your people going, oh, it's not going to, it's not meant to do anything. It's just there for decoration, basically. Decorated it does. I think it looks really good. I think it looks pretty trick. Does it go? Oh, who knows? Who cares if it goes with it or not? I think that looks insanely good. Now, the plan is with the number plate. This is not our number plate, of course, but haven't even really looked at what it's going to do yet. See, that can just probably sit there like that. Just above there. Can sit there like that. That's okay, isn't it? Boom, number plate there. Yeah, it looks better there, I think. Or it could go in the center. No, I think it looks good down the bottom there. So number plate there like that. Boom. So we just got to decide where to put the light. Maybe we'll just put the light here, pointing down. I don't know. You drop your comments of what you guys reckon. And then coming in around the side here. Now we know we've got stuff in the way, but we've got that corner piece done. And then, as you see, our bumper turns around. It basically like sort of goes into that leaf spring look. So I think it sort of finishes it all off, and it makes the bumper sticking down not look silly. And so if we want it to be really, but you know, this thing here moves. See, so, you know, it's just that. You could have a piece of wood maybe, but I don't think it needs. I reckon this is cool. Happy, happy, happy. So, plan is now, I'm just tidying up, because it was you would have seen it was pretty bad in here. And what we have done is we have done the oil, Danish walnut oil. If you're wondering what we're using, Scandinavian oil, dark walnut. Okay, that's the oil we're putting on, and now we've got to give that a coat of varnish. So we'll give those a coat of varnish, and the sides a coat of varnish as well. We'll do that in a second. And now we've got to trim our guards down as well. We've got to trim our guards, and then we can reassemble our guards and our running boards and stuff. So I think we'll look at doing that now quickly. Drop your thoughts down in the beat bop section down below of what you think of that as our rear bumper. Definitely changed the backs, definitely changed the look of the back of it. Again, back here you won't even really notice those little snakes. It'll be when you're up on the car, in the flesh, at a show, and you'll just go, what is going on there? Oh God, he's engraved snakes into the back of it. You know, snakes there, you know, just stuff like that, I think, that may be there. That was a pretty good shot, wasn't it? Straight into the toolbox. That might be the things that make us, you know, better than the one next door. Actually, we are pretty close. We haven't varnished it yet, but we've got the guards cut. Now I'm a little bit, I don't know. I really don't know. It's good. You can see the bottom of the tyre. Don't know. I did like them long, but so hopefully drop your comments on what I've done there. Worst case, I do have another guard that I could chop in half and it'd be pest. But yeah, we could do it. But I just think, I don't know. It did look really good before, but I think it's pretty cool. You know, sitting behind us at the lights and you see that big stinking tyre, I think is pretty cool. And then on the front of them, we've chopped them just at the... It's definitely changed the appearance. I didn't really think that chopping them would really change the appearance much, but definitely has. And we've chopped the front ones as well at the running boards. The front ones scraped hardcore. As you can see, they're still very low. Bit of a flat tyre, but... So yeah, definitely changed the look. Did trimming those guards a bit. Yeah, happy with that. And then we come to the back here, and here we go. This is us finished now, other than, like I've said, we need to varnish it. But and we've actually painted the number plate. We've got the number plate light mounted, but it's we've painted it, which reminds me, we've got to quickly give that another coat, because it was only a thin coat. So we'll do that. Boom. 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 All right, so that should be sweet tomorrow. Now, we actually gave that a bit of a sand up and then painted it. And here we go. So it's all, other than the varnish and putting that on, we're pretty much there. It's all mounted. I reckon it's cool, eh? I don't know. Tell me what you reckon. I definitely reckon it's pretty cool looking now. Regardless of what we did at the back, that little corner piece, I think really helps. That really helps the tray, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I reckon it's good. This thing here is very unique. Like I've said, haven't seen anyone do this. Put a Fireplace kick panel on as a bumper bar. And overall, I think that looks pretty sweet. Like this. This is a $2,000 build. Remembering this, guys. Remember this. This is a $2,000 build. And it's pretty cool. Now, I was looking the other day at the online because I needed to get some powder coat. I was going to buy some, I'm a bit low, I'm pretty low. I need some black, and I was looking at getting maybe like an off-white for some rims and maybe some red for some other rims. And they've got this gold, and it's nearly identical to our gold. It has to be done, it's a two-part one, because it's like a metallic-y pearly one, which is nearly the same colour. So you have to powder coat it in the gold, but then it will come out like a matty, so we'd have to see what it looks like. And then you have to powder coat it with a clear powder coat, I'm pretty sure is what you do. And then, so I'm thinking of getting some of that in, and we may strip these wheels back and powder coat them in the gold, because we're going to do some other rims that I've got. I'm going to powder coat. I'm going to do a cream set and a red set, and I don't know whether I'll keep them or sell them or whatever, but I've got a heap of tyres, white walls, and I've got all these old classic rims, so I thought I might as well powder coat them and then put them up for sale maybe, or just keep them as, you know, as whatever, like, do whatever with them. So we've got some cream ones. We've got a set I was thinking of doing a cream. I think they look pretty cool sometimes. We've got another set of these identical, the skinny and the fat in the 14. We've got one or two sets of Jag rims in the 15s. So, and then we've got, who knows what else. We've got something else anyway. But that's something we might look at doing. Maybe we'll pull the powder. If you're going to be interested in that, seeing that, us do a bit of powder coating. It's something that not a lot of you probably do, and it's pretty simple stuff. And so if you're interested in seeing that, like, sing out, and we'll do that, because it's, like I said, it's pretty simple stuff. It's not hard. It's actually way easier than what you would think. And I'm telling you right now, you can set up your own little kit for next to nothing. All right. So maybe we'll drop your comments if you want to see that, and I'll show you how to set your own little jigger up and all that, and like less than $200, I'd say. You could be powder coating, okay? That's Australian. Less than that. So at any rate, just brought you over here to have a look now. See the wood going up on the angle, that definitely looks so much better than that straight piece. I really think that is a finishing off piece. And from here, now that we've got that, the bumper bit coming around into the leaf spring, the bit of wood going down long doesn't look weird. It actually looks pretty good. So all in all, I think that's a win-win-win. Win-win. And like, it looks so good, hey? Like, the camera's probably not really showing it up because it just looks a bit black, but that fireplace thing, if you just walk up and look at that, it looks so cool, hey, like, it really, really, really looks cool. And then we got like the little, you know, secret little herbs and spices, aren't they? The little tiny things that people don't see. I know there's a few people that come around, like, you know, and none of them notice that. None of them notice it, you see, because it's just these little hidden, this is what I'm saying, it's just these little things, but then someone will be, and they'll spot it. Like the same with when we did this, when we did that one in there, the little wooden holder with the logo on it. Like no one sees that, but one day someone will spot it, and they'll go, check that thing out. And that's what these will be, is they'll go, check that out. And then, yeah, these might pop a bit better when it's varnished. We'll see what happens, but that wood is quite dark. It's Sunday night, it's getting late. Old little mate over here, can you hear him whinging? He's got the freaking shits on, I tell you. He's not happy. And I don't know if I've told you, but he's a little pig, yeah? He's a pig. He likes his food like I do, yeah? And he loves chicken. So when we bought him, he was a year old when we got him, and he come from family, and the wife was an Asian, yes, and she said he only like roast chicken, only roast chicken, nothing, no kibble, no dry food, just roast chicken. So I was like, man, it's going to cost me a freaking fortune, this dog, like, got to feed him a roast chicken every night. So anyway, we brought him home, dry food and the normal dog food like the other dogs get, like, you know, they get whatever they get, hoovers it, eats anything. I've never known a dog that eats anything. Anything I eat, he'll eat it if I give it to him. Like, he will just eat anything. He's a pig. So I don't know what all that was about, but whenever we sell a car, we buy the dogs a roast chicken as a little treat for them. Just something stupid we do. So last night, he had his roast chicken. Well, he's a pig, but he delicately eats, as in he'll grab a bin, go outside with it, and he'll eat his tea slowly, but he'll just want to keep eating. So he got his chicken last night, and his head didn't leave the bowl. And it was all gone in about 30 seconds, the whole big bowl. So one whole roast chicken between the three of them. And he ate his bowl. And then one of the dogs didn't eat nothing. So little man went over and knocked his bowl off too. And the other dog only ate half of his, and he knocked his off. So he had 3/4 of a chicken, I reckon, last night. And he was walking around like a little basketball. He was a fat little thing. I think that's why he's whinging, because he's been throwing himself around. He's only little, but look, he ate a bloody 3/4 of a roast chicken himself. Little Pigsley. Hey, little Pigsley. So at any rate, hey, there's all stupid shit happens here all the time. Anyway. Okay, we've basically finished it, guys. We've just got the reversing light cover is still drying, so we just got to put that on. Other than that, we're done. The rear bumper and the wood, I am in love with it. I think it's really cool. It's slightly changed the look of the car, truck, whatever you want to call it a bit, but that bumper is just so cool. Painted black with our polished brass ends and then our little brass bolts there. I think it just looks really, really good. Then we've got our little snakes engraved. So we've given the whole tray, running boards, everything a coat of varnish now, all the sides. We just thought we'd give it another coat. Why not? And, you know, even that one, they don't even see that very often, but when they do, they're a little bit, man, that's like wicked. And there's that one. So we've trimmed our guards back. Pretty happy with the look in the end with that. If if I bring you around here, I'll show you something. This is something that my eye picks. Okay, a lot of other people's eyes probably won't pick, but if we basically draw a line, you know, there's our front guard, our running board, boom, guard, boom, okay? We've basically got a nice line. So that is actually cut in a really good spot because it actually, now that's not deliberate, that was just cut to match the leaf. I thought that was a good height for it. But then when you come to the side and you get that line, it actually really works, okay? So happy with the guard cut. It's changed the look a little bit, but I like it. And then from the back, we get to see those big monster tyres. I'm really happy with how the black chassis sticks out there, and then we've got the leaf doing the same. So that's another design thing that my eye really likes. That I'm really chuffed with our piece of sideward. I think that has really, really helped the tray. It actually like just flows. The whole tray like all, it just flows now. Whereas before, like I've said to you, I didn't like that just one straight piece. I think it looked a bit unfinished. I think now it looks finished. And then the bumper curving in to those leaf springs, I think that is pretty cool looking too. So design wise, I'm actually really, really happy with everything that we've done. I really don't think I could have done it any better. I really don't think we could have designed that in any better at all. Okay, so, and at the end of the day, we probably got $1. It probably cost us $1 to do this whole thing. You know, the varnishes we had were free. Like, we got pallets of it. We got pallets of screws and bolts, and the wood. It's the wood. The wood cost us less than $1 for the wood we used. That's about it. The fireplace thing we had lying around, we got that for free. So another cool thing made for free to just raise the car up. That's what we're doing at the moment. The car's close to being fabricated and everything finished. We got exhaust, tail shaft, steering column and pedals, and mounting the brake booster. That's basically all the fabricating finished as per se to be driving down the street, and plumbing and electrical and windows, and we're driving it down the street. But we're going to do some of those things in between, but we're going to do some more of this free. It's kind of nearly like artsy-fartsy type stuff. You know, like I've said, we're not putting like shrunken heads or dull heads or stupid crap like that. We're just going to try to do stuff that's free, thinking outside the box, that will make it just like cool stuff that flows. It's all got to flow with it, okay? Now, stuff like this doesn't cost you money, guys, and you know, I think we're way under budget. I think I think I've pretty much bought everything for the car, but very, very close anyway. I think last tally up was about 1,700 we're at, so we've still got $300 in the budget. I think we've got a couple of things we can potentially sell off as well, so we should pretty much pull the budget off. And this thing for that is ridiculous, and that's what we're just trying to do now. Is, like I said, we're not far away. We could just get it finished and drive down the street, but when it's finished and driving down the street, then that's basically it. I won't touch it. It will go up the top, just like the other Bedford, and it might take me a year or two before I even want to do anything on it, okay? So that's why I'm not even looking at getting it running to drive yet, because we want to just do some more of this sort of stuff. I think if I can do a few more of these little free ideas, showcase skills to you, you guys can see some different stuff, how to think outside the box more, and we can lift this car to a ridiculous, like, so that it's, people look at it and go, that is ridiculous. How on God's earth has he built that for that price? There's no way. So that's what we want. Even just driving, it's like, how did he even do that? But we want to like just be ridiculous. It's like ridiculous. There's no way he could have done that. You know what I mean? What he just did there would have cost that. You know, that's how we want it to be. So, and if we can, why not? So with all that said, I'm going to say thank you guys for watching. Come back next week. Not sure what will be on, but it'll be one of these cool cars. We're not doing any flip cars for a little bit, and we're just doing cool stuff. We got this one, we got the Austin we're working on, and we got one on the DeSoto coming out. And you might want to watch that, because the big girl, we locked it up, but we're about to get it fixed, and we're going to open up some ponies in it. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.